Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be covering the Ice Cavern in Ocarina of Time, which is, in my opinion, one of the most technical temples, or dungeons rather, we have in the game. This is, of course, for my series of randomizer tutorials, which I have received good feedback on to, so I'm going to try to finish up the dungeons that are missing still, which are, of course, Ice Cavern and then Spirit Temple, and finally Gerudo Training Ground. Alright, so here I am in Ice Cavern. Obviously we're not going to start from here, just to so you guys know where we're going to be covering today. I'm going to start our journey here as we come from entering the Zora's Fountain. So usually we're going to enter Zora's Fountain from Zora's River, obviously, as adult. And this entrance from Woods, from Lost Woods, is going to be your most frequent. At this point in the game where you're considering doing Ice Cavern, you're probably going to have either a Silver Scale or Iron Boots, and in conjunction with either Minimut or Bolero, which are by far the fastest way to reach Ice Cavern. Of course, you can come climbing Zora's River fully, but this is a bit rarer, should I say. Alright, so the first trick we're going to have here is also covered in my Advanced Tricks tutorial, Miscellaneous Tricks, I think, is entering Zora's domain without Ziel using hover boots. So as you come from Lost Woods here, you're simply going to hold forward. He's going to climb the ledge at this angle here. You're going to see up, and then you want the sword hilt, which is where you hold the sword. If you look closely, there is kind of a lighter patch here, then a second one, and then a third one, alright? So what you want is for your sword hilt to be aligned in the middle of the second light patch, like so. Then you're going to equip your hover boots, which obviously in the randomizer would be simply pressing the D-pad, and then you're going to hold forward and roll twice. Alright, so one row, two rows, he's going to ledge grab, and there you go. You are inside Zora's domain. This is good because it saves you from having to play Ziel, which is a very long cutscene for one. And secondly, if you don't have Ziel at all, now you have access to Ice Cavern, which could be good if you have the information that the Ice Cavern is either way of the hero, or there is a song there that you definitely want in the future as you progress through the seed. Coming up here, we have the KZ Hover, which I'm not going to be able to do because I haven't delivered the Bruto's letter here in my practice room just yet, so there he is, right in the middle. I've shown this trick in my Miscellaneous Tricks video, I believe. So if you want to look at it, it's going to be right there. Basically, you're going to draw out your sword and have hover boots equipped as you come through this platform. I'm going to have to remove my switch targeting as per usual. You guys already know. So we're going to come here and go from switch to hold. There we go. And yeah, you're going to come holding your shield forward with hover boots. It's going to hover here a little bit, and then you're simply going to spam D, and he's going to go through without having to go through the loop around. Right, so this is already shown, it's a very minor time save, but today I have something much more important, which is the KZ skip. This is a somewhat more recent trick, I should say, that is still not allowed in S4 settings on DSR, which is on the speedruns, but I believe is already allowed in weekly races and also should be allowed in S5, so it's a very important trick that you should learn. KZ skip is very important because not only you can access Ice Cavern without Bruto's letter, which is good in case Ice Cavern is way the hero, or once again has a song you're gonna need for sure, but also if you have gotten Bruto's letter as adult, and your next play is going to be Ice Cavern. Because then, what would you normally have to do is go back as child, either with Prelude or walking to Temple of Time, and then you'd have to come here, show him Bruto's letter, and then go back to adult, and then come back here all the way. Right, so that's a huge time loss. If you can simply jump over him and start doing Ice Cavern if you have an extra bottle, because obviously the one with Bruto's letter is not available to you, then there you go. Alright, so there's a somewhat easier and a more complicated setup. For the first position you need your ledge grab right around there. The easier way would be to just target this wall and then back walk. and then you would ledge grab and shield turn to your right, like so. But I myself, I prefer targeting this wall over here. I walk to my left, side hop, and then back walk. As you can see, it's not 100% because you have to side hop right about as you're finishing your wall run here, like so. And then he's gonna ledge grab in the correct position. Do not do anything else and you're gonna be just right. Next up, you want to side hop to your left. Great. Now you want to shield turn to your right. Make sure you do not walk at all while doing this movement. Now you want to pull out your sword. Do not press B. You want to press RB because he's not going to move, which is important. And now we're going to jump slash, and during the motion you're going to hold shield, like so. There we go. Now you want to do a 180, once again, not moving. There we go. Now you want to C up, and you want your sword hilt, as I usually use as my visual cue. If you look closely, there's kind of a wall way there in the back, which you turn to your left to enter the Zora's Fountain area. So you want the very bottom of your sword hilt to be touching this wall division, like so. As you can see, there's the wall. I'm trying to show you guys, and my sword hilt is touching the division right now. Obviously, I want to touch it at the very top. So there's this kind of a vertical slanted line. You want to touch it at the very top. This would be pretty good. There are other visual cues that people like to use. This is mine. It works quite nicely. Now you want to simply hold forward. Now what I like doing is pause buffering, because I want to make sure that my stick is smack dab forward. Alright, I don't want it to be like slightly to the left or to the right. It has to be smack dab forward, so I like pause buffering this. Do not roll, it's not necessary. And you want pause, and it's gonna ledge grab there, and there you go. Now you just performed your key Z skip. It seems precise, but it's a somewhat easier trick once you practice it. It's like around the B1 skip difficulty in a difficulty scale, I would say. It's not too hard once you practice. Right, coming up to Zora's Fountain. If you have bombs and ZL, the first check I would do is the Fairy Fountain over there. Coming up from the Fairy Fountain, you obviously are going to do the freestanding up on the icebergs here. So look it up. It's obviously going to be a piece of heart since this is the vanilla one. Down there, there's another item, which is Icy Waters. You can only grab it with iron boots, but obviously you can try looking it up using target and dive. It really depends. It's really an emulator thing here. Like I'm playing on Wii right now. It's the GZ practice ROM. I'm using an ESS adapter by the Electromodder in the UK to use my N64 controller right here. So the Wii is a bit better than the N64 vanilla. I have also the EverDrive here. Some of my earlier tutorials are on the N64, you might remember. And the draw distance in N64 is pretty terrible. So even with the gold scale, sometimes I have trouble seeing what item is down there. Now, here in the Wii, it's usually a bit easier. You are simply going to dive and hold target, and you can kind of make it out that it's a hard piece over there. Alright? Now here I have a silver scale, as you can see, so I have 6 seconds of diving. Now if I downgrade this to no scale, let's try it. I think it's quest items here. No. It's equipment and items. Let's throw in no scale here. It's not a pause, it's an LR. There we go. I'm going to try doing the same thing. I'm only 3 seconds, or 2 rather, and it's very, very hard to make out the item. I'm going to try again. It's way down there, very, very small. If you're on emulator, especially RetroArch, this is pretty free, alright, even without a scale. So this is an important difference that you have between N64, Wii, and finally the emulator. So what you want to do after is climb this final iceberg here. Obviously you're going to try, it's not going to work, as you see. Like, it's a bit finicky. Now what do? You have 2 options. You can spam B. Usually with the Master Sword it's a lot easier. I like equipping the Master Sword for this part, so just spam B. It's going to jump slash. Didn't work that time. It's not 100% guaranteed. Let's try a couple more times because I want to show it. Alright, there we go. So spam B and you get on top here. Big Orange Sword is not as good because you have still the time that you have to pull out the sword so it doesn't work as frequently. But if you have hover boots, like hands down use that, it's a lot easier. I'm gonna equip it here and you guys are gonna see it. You simply have to hold forward and it's free, right? Obviously, on the vanilla game, I'll not do it because you need to pause twice, but in the randomizer, it's just a D-pad touch away, and there we go. So here we are in Ice Cavern. Ice Cavern, as I said, is a very technical dungeon because most of your time is going to be lost in a single room, which is going to be the push blocks room that I'm going to cover extensively coming up. Now, if you have a Master Sword and Magic, I'm going to save a state here. A couple techniques for this first room here. If you have Master Sword and Magic, pretty easy. You just hold the spin, a lever to spin, wait up, so the last freezer comes in, and you throw it out. You're going to mostly kill everyone, and then you simply crouch stab this last guy here. Like so. It was not perfect, as you see. If you do not have magic, your next best option would be not to be hit by the saw twice. Let me load safely. I like holding up here, just a little bit. Alright, so you just jump slash, power crouch stab, and then do it twice here. And twice with this other guy. And then once here, and twice. If he goes away, you can quickly pull out your hookshot, which I usually have equipped here, and shoot him on final time. So there you go. Now, what if you have the Biggoron sword? Oh, the Biggoron sword is pretty free. Obviously, I'm gonna state here, I suppose. You can use the level 2 spin once again. This is gonna kill them all every time. Like so. There you go, pretty free. If you do not have magic, you can just jump slash 1, single attack, crouch stab, crouch stab, crouch stab. There you go. Pretty easy, right? There we go. Now this next room coming up, let me pull out my hook shot over here. You can simply roll through this, alright? You do not need to actually destroy the stalactites over there. Now, routing here for the silver rupees is pretty freeform. There's not much time to be gained or lost. Obviously, you want to get the skull tool over here if you have a hook shot, and you need skulls. Important thing, if you have a blue fire coming from Ganos Castle, in S4 settings, Ganos Castle obviously is open with 2 medallions rather than 6, which we had in S3. I usually like unfreezing. Oh, it was a giant snipe. That sucks. I like unfreezing this part first because it's 2 checked right there. If you're looking for a single item in Ice Cavern, it's pretty good. Now this final silver rupee here, what I want to do is line up with this wall, like so. I'm gonna climb it and then hold straight left to my stick, on my stick. There you go. And this way you do not have like to reposition your camera and see if you're looking the right way. It's much better. Because otherwise you'd have like to climb here and then maybe Z and then probably C up to make sure you're correctly aligned and then jump. So obviously that's a lot slower. I'm gonna grab back my Master Sword since my giant snipe broke. Now this room here, just roll through. Ideally not getting hit by the saws. Now coming up, if you have a hook shot, like best strat in this room, let me save a state here. Best strat in this next room, in my opinion, is this. You just jump. You store a jump slash in case you haven't lost it. Usually not the case, but still. Now you hook shot this guy. Then you power crouch stab him. You gotta be fast. Let me unload the room here. There we go. Unloaded the room. I'm gonna save a state here. I'm gonna load it back. Because the amount he waits for the breath is dependent on when you load the room, obviously. Right, so. Power crouch stab. That was wrong. Let's try it again. Store jump slash. Now we roll forward like kind of twice. Hook shot him. Mostly to the middle. And you power crouch stab. There you go. Single attack. Usually a bat is gonna come from for you right now. So actually he didn't come this time. That bat usually comes from me. So I like doing a quick spinning attack like so. Then we're gonna kill the bat. Then you're gonna equip ideally 2 bottles if you have 2 bottles. It's very bad doing Ice Cavern with a single bottle. It's a time loss for sure. It's not the end of the world or anything, but still. Now we're gonna grab the blue fire here. Grab 2 of them. Now you could walk all the way like over there and then do that, or you can simply see up here and fall like this. Alright, there we go. Let's climb again. I can fly here, which is pretty convenient. Alright, there we go. So I just like doing a C up right about should the like right to the chest, like right here. And then he does a ledge grab, which is pretty convenient. And then I unfreeze the chest. Alright, so the general strat for the room is this. If you do not have a hookshot, obviously you do not have the option of hookshotting the freezer up there. So what you're going to have to resort doing is really climbing over here. A bat is going to come for you almost immediately. You're going to have to spin attack very fast. You can ignore this freezer and then climb over here. Now he's going to talk to me once again. Going to spin, and there we go. The rest of the room is absolutely the same, right? So you're going to ignore the freezer to your left in this case, which is this guy. You simply ignore him and then you do the jump. If you have hover boots, as usual, very convenient place to use it is simply equip it on the D-pad and walk. Do not roll, this is important, because you might bonk. And then, there you go. You're up here. Okay, well, I'm gonna equip a blue fire. I accidentally loaded state here, but it's fine. I can simply equip a blue fire here on my bottom. It's a fairy, there's a blue fire. Actually gonna grab 2 of those. Alright. So grab your blue fire, you come back here. We're gonna go to the next room, which is gonna be to our left. Just blue fire this red ice down. Not many optimizations on this next room, if you ask me. You can side hop here to be a little fancy. If you see the item and it's something that you want, you have the option of doing the following. You unfreeze this, because you actually have to wait for the animation of the ice melting, right? So you can go through. So you would unfreeze this, and then you would grab 2 blue fires and freeze that, grab the item, and then go back and collect the chest, and then move on your merry way. If this is not something that you want, you probably want to get this cool anyways. And then you grab 2 blue fires, like so. Unfreeze the chest to your right. In this case, this one. Grab the item. Continue in your merry way. Coming up here, like looking to my left and side hopping. This is good because you avoid this hopping animation here. It's pretty slow. It's a bit slow, right? So it would be beneficial for you to simply side hop through. And of course, now we're going to come to the very reason why Ice Cavern is such a technical dungeon. So I'm gonna save a state a bit after the stalactites, stalagmites actually. So if you hold your target here, you can simply roll forward like twice. If you backwalk here, you can go through there without actually having to destroy the ice. Alright, so once again, that would be like holding target, 2 side hops, backwalk a little bit, then side hop through. Alright, so now we come up to the big room, right? Unstable state here. We're gonna have to cover this extensively. So actually I'm gonna kill all the bats first, because they can mess you up pretty bad. The bats do not generally influence your movement too much on the first block, as I'll show. The second block and the second and third jumps, they can really mess you up, but we're gonna make do. Alright, so you're here. So imagine you do not know a better strat, you're gonna do the vanilla strat. What would it be? Save a state here. Now you would push this block like so. And then you could... No, this is wrong actually. I don't do this wrong. This way very often, as you guys can see, this is wrong. Yeah. Oh, this actually reaches. Alright. Alright, I did not know that actually. Very cool. So you can simply push the block right, as you see, and roll jump. And apparently, that should be a good angle. That should be a good angle. So I could like look to the extreme right of this platform, and hopefully, yeah, he ledge grabs. Good stuff. Load state. You could also push the block forward once, there, and then to your right, it's gonna land right next to the platform. And then the next puzzle is gonna be pushing the block to your left, and then up, and then there you go. Obviously, you guys are not watching this to see the room solved in a vanilla way, so we're gonna do the fancy strats. You have a series of glitchless jumps that you can use if you do not have bombs, right? So what I like doing is jumping here, lining up with the block, and then you climb. And now still holding target, you grab the rupee and immediately drop down, holding A during your ledge grab. Now we're going to do 2 side hops to your right, 1 neutral. Now 1 to your right, and then back walk and hold forward. Now this has to be done in a fluid motion, so you see I missed it there. So I'm going to try here a couple times to show what I mean. Actually, let me simply load the state without the sword pull. This is important. So you climb here, instant ledge drop. That was very, very close. Now this is a very precise strategy, as you guys can imagine. I want to get it like once. Not good. And it's very time sensitive, basically. You have to do everything very fast. It's like, this is already wrong, you know? So this is the one that I usually use, but I have a backup, obviously, because my success rate is not the best, as you can see. There we go. So this is what it looks like, right? I recommend you practice this, but as you can see, it's not guaranteed at all. So, not the easiest strategy to implement, but you have an alternative. Imagine you missed it, or imagine you don't want to try it at all. What you can do is line up the left leg of Link, actually I think the right leg, we'll see, with the third line. So that is the first line, second line, third line. So I want my right foot actually lined up smack dab in the middle of the line, like so. Now you're going to do a spinning attack and then hold shield right after. Now it has this kind of a slanted angle, right? So you're going to do a side hop to your right and then hold up left on the stick. There you go. So this one is a lot easier. It's a good backup in case you missed the first one, okay? So if you missed the first one, you can simply back up to this one, and there you go. So once again, like, just so we recap everything, right foot on third line, spin attack. Oh, that's not good. The lining up here is a bit finicky, I'll say, because his movement on ice is kinda strange. So you see, if you do not hold like precisely up left, and that can happen, you miss the ledge grab. Oh, there we go. Oh, I actually missed it. Okay, but you guys get the idea. Anyways, that is the backup. If you have bombs, obviously you can do a ground jump, which is much more convenient. You simply place a bomb, pull out your shield, and press target and A at the same time. You're going to start a ground jump, and you use it, and there you go, you're up here. Okay? Finally, there is a hover boots technique. So you can climb here as you come into the room, right? I like lining up with C up, so I don't miss it at all. You equip your hover boots. I'm gonna save state here, and then you want to roll forward, backflip, and then one. This is by far the fastest, alright? This is even faster than the fast setup that I showed, which is the ledge drop and then 2 side hops and yada yada yada. So this is the absolute best. If you have hover boots, I recommend you try this one. As you guys probably know, you do not need to unfreeze this block at all. All you need to do is just line up perpendicular or vertically with the rupee, jump slash, and you're going to collect it, no problemo. Coming up here, you want to collect this rupee, and now we're going to go to that one. Now, once again, you have an array of setups you can use. First, we're going to go through glitchless jumps. You can line up with this, shoot turn. I think it's 4 side hops and then up right on the stick. It's pretty much that. The side hops have to be frame perfect, so this is like, you cannot walk in between each side hop at all, which makes the setup not very consistent in my opinion. I do not use it. You have a couple backups, so backup number 1 would be lining up with this, then you should turn right, Now you want to line your sword hilt with sort of kind of... There's this black patch here. There's a third black patch. Let me use arrows. I think this is better. So if you count this as the first black patch, and then this one is the second black patch, and then this one is the third black patch on the wall, you want your sword on the third black patch, alright? So it would be like so. And now you're simply going to backflip and then hold upright. Once again, the position where you hold the stick is of paramount importance. So you might miss this a couple times. Do not worry. It's still way better than pushing the block, believe me. There we go. And you reach it right here. And another backup, which is one that I like using, is pretty much standing on this block over here. This would be like 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 coming up from the hole over there. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 counting from the wall. So you stand right here, and you want your sword here to be... Sorry? Oh, my bad. And you want your sword here to be like smack dab in the middle, in between this kind of a division here, right? This wall, or seam, and the blue fire. So this is your right extreme, this is your left extreme. You want the sword here to be right about here. So the C-up setup would be like so. And then you're going to side hop to your left and hold upright. And there you go. Alright? Once again, of course, you also have the option of using bombs, which is very easy, very convenient. You simply drop it down, set up a ground jump, and there you go. This works. You can also use the slash setup on the wall. People shield drop and they slash, and then it didn't work. I'm not very familiar with the slash setup, if I'm honest with you. So let me try it. Yeah, I'm not very consistent with it at all. I think you need to get some distance. I'm not the greatest with it. I guess you could like backwalk a bit and then roll to the bone. That works. I do prefer the static setup where you simply drop the bomb to your feet and then shield and target at the same time. Or shield and then target an A at the same time. Obviously you're gonna get a blue fire here. And we're coming up to the third one, which is that one. Not much you can do here, to be honest. You can ground jump to the rupee, but I mean, it's not the best. Once you get a rupee, you wanna probably get the Skotal over here. And then we come up to the third glitchless jump. Oh yeah, I was almost forgetting. There's also a hover boot setup for this one. It's pretty much similar to the previous one. You want to stand here, see up, so you make sure your lining up is right. Hover boots. I'm going to save a state here just to make sure. See, you cannot go too fast or you're going to miss. Or too slow and you're going to miss. This is perfect. There we go. Alright, so you want to make your backflip land right on top of that small platform here, which is obviously easier said than done. And there we go. This is what it looks like in motion. Obviously, the fastest method is this one, if you have hover boots, so do try it. And now for the third glitchless jump, this one has no hover boot setup, unfortunately. You can, of course, ground jump, as you guys already know, so just set up ground jump here. After you got the rupee, just backflip here, there you go. Keep on going on your merry way. One setup that you can do is after you grab the rupee, I'm gonna grab the rupee, fictitiously, and then ledge drop. After this, you wanna line up with this wall. You're gonna do 3 side hops here, right? Then you're gonna like walk up until he doesn't move at all. So you were right there on the seam, dead stopped. You're gonna backflip and wait for him to stop movement completely, and then you're gonna side hop to your right and hold forward on the stick. And that didn't quite work. I'm gonna try again. This is not my preferred setup, so I'm not super familiar with it. You can also like simply side hop twice. If you hold Z, the direction is held, which is what you want. The heading is held. It's not the best. It's not the best. Well, I am not the best at this setup, I should say. It does work, not with me apparently. Alright, doesn't work. Anyways, my setup is similar, I would say. I line up on this wall, I should turn right, and then the rest is exactly the same. I simply side hop twice, backflip, wait for the dead stop, then do this, and there you go. Right? So I think in between the two setups, there's very little difference. This one is slightly more efficient because after you get the loop, you are already in position, so you can start movement right away. As you can see, I'm not the most consistent at it. Mine, you have to like do a turn around here, then shoot turn, and there you go. Imagine you miss for some reason. You also do have a backup. You can line up with this wall, and we're gonna back walk just a tad bit, side hop to your left, right, and then neutral, like so. Now you do not want to hold. You do not want to realign the camera just yet. You're gonna do a crouch stab, and then you backflip and hold forward, and there you go. All right. So this is a backup that you can do if for some reason you miss. You're already in this vicinity here, and you do not want to walk all the way there to redo the setup. So you can just do this once again. Back walk, left to right, neutral. You do not want to retarget the camera, that's important. There we go. Now crouch stab, backflip, wait, go. I missed. Let me try it one more time before we keep going. Dang. I retargeted. It's a habit I have. There we go. I missed. Yeah, this is all wrong. Actually, distance to the seam is not just right. You're gonna miss the trick. I'm gonna try it one last time. There we go. Perfect. So for this final one, you have 3 possible setups, well, that I've shown you. Glitchless jumps, and also a ground jump using bombs. So if you mix up everything, you can do a very fast push blocks here, especially much faster than someone that's doing the vanilla strategy. So absolutely something to keep in mind. Alright, so we're gonna come up here, and you're gonna melt this ice. Now there's a quick kill on this Wolfos. It's very precise in my estimation, so I'm gonna save a state here. Basically you wanna jump slash him as he's coming out. Let's try. Oh, there isn't. Where's the Wolfos? What's going on? Hello? I have no idea. There should be a Wolfos here, but there isn't. Anyways, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to fight the Wolfos. I hope I am after this animation. We'll see. But basically, as he comes out from the ice, you can like 2 steps forward and then jump slash. And if you hit it just right, then you're gonna kill him. It's a very minor time save, as you can imagine. Let's learn Serenade here, I guess. I missed. There we go. Oh, after the Wolfos, you're gonna get your song. You're gonna grab the Vanilla Iron Boots chest, and then the last thing you want to do before leaving the area is unfreezing King Zora. I'm gonna show you one last trick before we finish this video. And there goes Sheik, I suppose. Yep. Gone. I think Wolfos is gonna come. Yeah, it's over. Okay, I can't do much here. It's unfortunate. I'm gonna kill the Wolfos. As per usual. Basically, the idea would be coming out from the wall and then jump slash him almost immediately. Anyways, you get your Iron Boot chest, you get your song, bam, and then if you have 2 bottles, probably on that last blue fire you got one to melt the red ice coming up here and one still stored. So if you're on emulator, you wanna save and quit and then go back to dungeon entrance. If you're not on emulator, that is if you're on Wii or N64, that is lower. So what you want to do is come back out here, and then you want to avoid out on that hole over there. And if you only have one bottle and obviously you do not have a blue fire, then you can redo a glitch jump or a ground jump any way you prefer it. I'm gonna try one of the setups I've shown here. I think this is misaligned. Yeah, this is misaligned. Do alright. I really do prefer the setup here. It's not working today, and I'm making a fool of myself, but I do prefer it. Right, this is good. Basically, the angle you hold as you exit as you start the jump. That is the crucial part of the trick. But then you get your last blue fire if you only have one bottom, and then you void out here. There you go. Ice Cavern is done. But we're not quite finished yet. We have to unfreeze King Zora. So you wanna jump here. You probably haven't gotten this hint stone just yet, unless you have beaten Jabu. So it's time to get it. And then we back all the way here. This next trick I'm gonna show you is not allowed, as I understand, in ZSR settings. But depending on your in-house rules, you could use it. Basically, while King Zora is unfreezing, he doesn't have collision. So what you can do is stay somewhat close to the middle of his hitbox. And you want to unfreeze, and as he's unfreezing, you want to press forward on the stick. It's very, very simple. You simply press forward, and you're going to clip through him. There you go. And you talk to him and grab your prize. If you do not do this, obviously you have collision with him. I'm going to show you. And then you cannot go through. See? You cannot go through, and you cannot talk to him. So you would have to, I don't know, play Minuet or Bolero and then walk all the way back to Zora's Domain and then grab your prize. Alright? Do keep in mind this is not allowed in most rule sets. So maybe do not use it if you're not. Alright? So that is what I wanted to show you guys for Ice Cavern. I hope this video was informative. Obviously, I paused a lot, especially on the push blocks room, because I wanted to show all the possible strategies. I didn't quite show the room being performed in a fluid way. I have a bunch of videos, both commented runs and also VODs of asyncs and races that I have done that you can see the room in motion. And obviously I don't get everything right every single time, so there are mistakes, but still a lot faster than the vanilla way. And yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much.